Accountability isn't just about your personal commitments, it's the foundation of trust and performance in your team. As a leader, you set the tone. In this episode, we're exploring how to build a culture of accountability in your business, why it's essential for growth, and how simple strategies like team huddles and leading by example can make all the difference. So let's dive into how great teams thrive on accountability. Welcome to Small Business Big Visibility, the podcast empowering you, adventurous small business owners, to attract your ideal customers and boost your revenue. I'm your host, Jason McKenzie. Each week, we'll explore easy to implement tools and strategies to take your business to new heights and build the lifestyle you want. If you're ready for more profits and less stress, let's get started. In our last episode, we talked about accountability as the cornerstone of excellence and how it starts with holding yourself responsible for your goals and commitments. But accountability doesn't stop with you. As a leader, you're responsible for creating an environment where accountability isn't just a buzzword, it's a daily practice that drives performance and trust. Today, we're focusing on accountability within your team. When your employees take ownership of their roles and see you doing the same, it creates a ripple effect that transforms your business. So let's start with an analogy. Think of yourself as a coach. A great coach doesn't just focus on winning the game. They hold their players accountable for showing up to practice, working on their weaknesses, and playing as a team. Even the most talented athletes won't reach their potential without accountability. Now, let's translate that to your business. If you're the leader, your role isn't just to guide your team, it's to ensure they're performing at their best. Now, this does not mean micromanaging. It means setting clear expectations, providing feedback, and holding yourself and your team to the same high standards. Phil Jackson, one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time, said it best: "The strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team." Accountability works both ways. When you hold your team accountable, they'll rise to meet your expectations. And when they see you holding yourself accountable, they'll follow your example. Now let's break this down. How can you lead by example and create a culture where accountability is second nature for everyone on your team? First, to understand how accountability works within a team, think of a line of dominoes. When one person holds themselves accountable, it creates a chain reaction that keeps the entire team moving forward. But if one domino is out of place, if someone drops the ball, it can disrupt that entire flow. As the leader, you're the one who sets that first domino in motion. Here are 3 steps for creating a culture of accountability in your team. Step number 1 is lead by example. Your team looks to you as their mirror. If you're late for meetings, disorganized, or inconsistent, they are going to most likely reflect those behaviors. But if you're punctual, prepared, and clear about your expectations, they'll rise to meet those standards. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be perfect. In fact, owning your mistakes is one of the most powerful ways to model accountability. When your team sees you admitting when something went wrong and taking steps to fix it, they'll feel safe to do the same. Here's a question to reflect on. What are you modeling for your team right now? If you were to look at your behavior through their eyes, would you see accountability or areas where you could step up? All right, number 2, create simple systems for accountability. Accountability doesn't happen by accident. It needs structure. One of the simplest ways to build accountability is through daily or weekly team huddles. These quick check-ins clarify priorities, track progress, and ensure that everyone knows what's expected of them. Many high-performing organizations and sports teams use huddles to stay on track. They're not long, drawn-out meetings. They're focused and action-oriented. Each person shares what they've accomplished, what they're working on, and where they might need help. This keeps everyone accountable, not just to you, but to the team as a whole. When you establish regular touch points, you're creating opportunities for people to own their responsibilities and speak up about roadblocks before they become an even bigger problem. Ready for number 3? It's shifting focus from blame to solutions. Accountability often gets a bad rap because people associate it with blame. But accountability is not about pointing fingers, it's about finding a solution. For example, if a project misses a deadline, the goal isn't to assign blame, but ask, what happened and how can we prevent this next time? When you take this approach, you create a culture where people feel safe owning their mistakes and learning from them. This mindset also encourages proactive behavior. When employees know that accountability is about solutions, not blame, they're more likely to bring up potential issues before they even escalate. As a leader, your job is to create an environment where people feel empowered to take ownership of their roles. When accountability becomes a shared value, trust and productivity will thrive. Now, some people might be thinking, how do I hold my team accountable without micromanaging them all the time? That's a great question because there is a fine line between accountability and control. Accountability is not about hovering over every single task. It's about setting clear expectations, checking in regularly, and giving your team the tools they need to be successful. It's also about creating an environment where people will feel comfortable owning their responsibilities and asking for help when they need it. Another concern might be, what if someone just isn't stepping up? In that case, it's important to address the issue directly, but in a way that's constructive. You can focus on behaviors, not personalities, and always frame the conversation around solutions. How can we work together to fix this? Accountability works best when it's built on trust and mutual respect. Start there, and you'll start to see results. Remember, accountability isn't about assigning blame. It's about creating solutions. All right, now it's your turn. Think about one way you can model accountability for your team this week. Maybe it's owning a mistake or setting up a regular team check-in. Start small and start now. Also, if this episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd share it with fellow entrepreneurs who could use a reminder about the power of accountability. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Until next time, lead with accountability, inspire your team, and watch your business thrive.